Alright, so speeding. Everybody's done it before. A lot of us have gotten caught at one point or another. If you haven't been caught yet, you'll probably be caught. And if you have been caught before, you'll probably be caught again. Anyways, today I got a little story for y'all about the first time I ever got pulled over speeding. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, so it's summer 2018. I literally just graduated high school. I've had my license for about 6 months or so. I didn't have a car yet, so basically the only times I drove was whenever I could get my mom's car or my dad's truck. And on this particular night, I had my mom's car out and about. And so that's where our story begins. So I'm chilling with my buddy in my mom's car, and there was a party this night because it was a long weekend. But the problem is that we needed booze, and neither of us were old enough to buy at the time. We were both 18. So it ended up being like my friend's old coworker or something. I think we picked him up at his new job, and then we drove to the liquor store and he picked us up like a 2-4 of beer or something like that, and we drove him back while he was on his break. So after we dropped this random guy off that I didn't even know, I had to pick up some weed. So I went up to my buddy's place and I picked up like an ounce, I'm pretty sure. And so I had 2-4 beer, ounce of weed. I was like, alright man, this is gonna be a pretty good night. And I'm sure all of you can relate that whenever you're in a really good mood, because it's going to be a really good night and you're partying with all your friends, you end up driving a little faster, the music's up a little bit louder, you're a little bit more careless, and you end up going 85 and a 50 down the hill. And I didn't even realize how fast I was going, so I went around a little bit of a turn on the road, and then that's when the cop let me out. So keep in mind, this was the first time I ever been pulled over, so I wasn't entirely sure what to do, but I figured pulling over to the side of the road would probably be a good start. So I pulled over to the side of the road, threw my blinker on, and I just basically started hyperventilating, freaking out, had no idea what to do. You gotta also remember that not only did I have a 2-4 beer in the back seat and an ounce of weed in the driver's door, but I was also 18, and so was my friend, and technically we weren't supposed to have any of that stuff on us. So eventually the cop comes up to the window, and I'm still like super anxious because I don't know what to do, but the cop obviously asks for like license and registration. I knew enough to give him that, so he takes that, and then he asks if I know how fast I was going, and I was like, yeah man, I know how fast I was going. He's like, so why are you going so fast? Like, oh, you know man, like sometimes it just happens. So it's like very nonchalant, so he probably didn't even think I was taking him seriously, or I didn't even think that speeding was a big deal. And I kind of seemed like an asshole, if I'm being honest. And he just sort of cuts me off when I was speaking. He's like, yeah, okay, I get what you mean. I was like, oh, I'll be back, I'm gonna go to my car. And so he goes off to his car, and he sits there for probably 10 or 15 minutes. And at this point I'm like, what is going on? Because like my whole car smells like weed. Like there's a 2-4 in the back of the car too, and I was just a total asshole to the police, so I'm definitely getting a ticket. So at this point here, I just start like panicking and like freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh my god, I'm gonna be in so much shit and all this, right? So like my buddy gets a video of me on his Snapchat, and I'll just play it really quick and you can see how much I was freaking out.
What happened, Ricky?
Done fucked her.
Done fucked her.
So after a while, he comes back to the car and he hands me like a sheet of paper, right? And I'm just looking at it, and I didn't really know what it was at first, and I thought it was a ticket. And then he explains that it's just a written warning, but it will go on my record so that when I get pulled over next time, they'll know that I've already been pulled over, right? So I was like, thank you so much and all this, and like sort of sigh of relief that like I wasn't getting anything like really bad on my driving record and my insurance isn't gonna go up and all that, right? So I tried shaking his hand. He wouldn't shake my hand, unfortunately. But anyways, I just drove off, and I ended up going home after this and waited for my drive to the party to come pick me up. And I put my warning on the fridge, and my mom really didn't like the fact that I put it on the fridge. And pretty much after that, I got picked up and we took off to the party. As far as the party goes, there's not really much interesting. There was a roadblock on the way there, so that's pretty funny and ironic. But the party itself was pretty uneventful. It was just a small pit party, and it really didn't live up to the hype that there was supposed to be behind this party. The only other funny thing worth mentioning is that when I was going on my way home, my drive, he ended up driving somebody else home, and we had to pull over 4 times for him to throw up on the way back to town. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. It is a little bit of a shorter video today, so I apologize for that, but I'm just trying to pump out quite a few videos over these coming few weeks to try and build a bit of an audience and stuff like that, if you know what I mean. I am also thinking about doing some streaming on Twitch. It wouldn't be like a regular thing, it'd be like a once a week or once every couple weeks thing. But if that is something that interests you, then make sure to leave a comment letting me know that, and I'll take it into consideration for sure. But until next time, guys, I'm out.